Kenya has over the year produced some of the most amazing people in the world. We have produced actors, athletes, and recently great politicians. Top of the mind right now is the UK Prime Minister, who has his origin in Kenya. Lest we forget, former US President Barack Obama was of Kenyan origin. In this video, I am going to show you some of the prominent people of Kenyan origin. Please, do like this video and share it with your friends, and also subscribe to be updated with the latest from Kenya. 1. The Olsens. His awesome trio is born of a Swedish father and a Kenyan mother. The footballing twin brothers who play for English teams even come with Kikuyu names. Martin Tony Wakwe Olsen plays for Norwich City and Marcus Jonas Muna Olsen for Blackburn Rovers. Unlucky for the Harambee Stars, they both chose to play for their European nations, just like Liverpool's Divock. Their older sister Jessica is the missus of NBA megastar Dirk Nowitzki. 2. Sir Ben Kingsley. The legendary English actor's link to Kenya is quite loose, but the fact that his father Rahimtullah Harji Banji was born and practiced medicine in Kenya makes Sir Ben Asian English Kenyan. 3. Gurinder Chadha. Seen bended like Beckham? Well, it has the Kenyan stamp all over it, courtesy of director Gurinder Chadha. She was born in Nairobi, Kenya, and her family was part of the Indian diaspora in East Africa. 4. The Katanas. Names don't come any more Kenyan than that. Okay, maybe Wanjiku and Oshino, but Katana must be up there. However, duets definitely don't come any hotter than Hope and Millie Katana. The Kenyan British singers, songwriters, and actresses were born in Kenya to an English mother and Kenyan, obviously very Maji Kenda, dad. 5. Sir Tejinder Verdi. Professor Sir Tejinder Singh Verdi is an experimental physicist and professor of physics at Imperial College London. He was born in Nyeri into a Sikh family. Verdi went to school at Kisumu Boys High School. 6. Wafula Strike. Kenya's first ever wheelchair Paralympian and 2014 inductee to the Member of the Order of the British Empire. She's now officially a British citizen but very much Kenyan made. 7. Susie Figgis. A British casting director born and partly bred in Kenya. She's cast for big films including Gandhi, the Pirates of the Caribbean movie series, Alice in Wonderland, and the Harry Potter movie series. I'll credit the cool morning Kenyan air for gifting her the calmness and vision that's necessary for unearthing young talents like Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Will Poulter. Don't go chasing waterfalls, kid from We're the Millers. 8. Selena Cherry. Selena Cherry, Center, is an English singer. She is the lead singer of the girl group Honeys. Nothing much is known about her roots, but Wikipedia says her parents are East African and hail from Kenya. 9. Lamaya. Lamaya Al-Mugairi was a Kenyan-born British female dance music singer. An American magazine called her the Kenyan Bjork, but sadly she passed on at the height of her career. 10. Chris Froome. Born in Kenya to Kenyan parents, schooled at Bunda School, Nairobi, and was the first ever Kenyan participant at the Tour de France. Unfortunately, his 2013 Tour victory was largely a British one, since he said earlier on in 2008, "Although I was riding under the Kenyan flag, I made it clear that I had always carried a British passport and felt British. It was then we talked about racing under the Union flag." Buggers. 11. Shay, the UK bombshell. Believe it or not, she's Kenyan, partly. She's also Italian, Arabian, and Portuguese. The London-based international model was born in Mombasa and was rumored to be Kanye West's main squeeze back in 2010. 12. Imran Yusuf. A British stand-up comedian of East African Indian descent, born in Mombasa. He was raised in London with a brief stint studying illegally in the USA. 13. The Soods. Siblings Manoj and Veena Sood are Kenyan-Canadian actors. Manoj, born in Mombasa, has starred in the Canadian hit series Little Mosque on the Prairie, Dead Like Me, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, and Disney's Tomorrowland, also starring George Clooney, which releases in May 2015. His sister Veena, on the other hand, has been seen on The X-Files, Supernatural, Bates Motel, and Smallville. 14 Barkat Abdirahman. You saw him in Captain Phillips. No, not look at me, I'm the captain now dude. That's Barkat Abdi. He was born in Mogadishu, Somalia. Barkat Abdirahman plays Bilal, the barefoot teenage pirate whose toe gets sliced open by broken glass. Abdirahman was born in Nairobi in 1994. 15 Jared Okia. Jared is a hunky Atlanta-based model and son of Olugo Pops and Kisi Imam. He was born and raised in a hero. He's making a name for himself and has even scored parts in the Real Housewives of Atlanta and rapper T.I's reality show, T.I. And Tiny, The Family Hustle. 16 Wararunga. You know the dreadlocked, flag waving, camel riding, trumpet player on Thrift Shop and Can't Hold Us. If anyone has earned the name Pied Piper, it's definitely the Kisumu-born Owar. He described to Nations Boniface Mwilili his childhood in Karachuonyo and Kisumu as pure bliss. 27 Richard Dawkins. Probably the most outspoken atheist of our time. Just Google what if you're wrong. Less known for coining the popular word meme, he was born and spent his childhood in colonial Kenya, where his father was an agricultural specialist. 17 Deepna Anand. A celebrity chef, recipe book author, and winner of the coveted British Curry Award, announced by PM David Cameron. Her family-run brilliant restaurant started in the early 50s Kenya by her grandfather offers North Indian Punjabi cuisine with a Kenyan twist. It later opened in 1975 in London where her family had moved. They've since got Gordon Ramsay's nod in TV's Ramsay's Best Restaurant series and a visit from Charles, the Prince of Wales. 18 Charles Gitonga Maina. Remember the basketball prodigy in that movie, what was it called? Yeah, The Air Up There. The 6'10" star of the Jimmy Dolan Shake and Bake has since gone quiet, but keep an eye out for a towering figure the next time you're walking around town, it might just be him. 19 Wanjeka Mutu. Born in Nairobi and educated at Loreto Convent Misongari, Wanjeka is an artist and sculptor who is based in Brooklyn, New York. She is considered one of the most important contemporary African artists of our time and Beyoncé says so too. You may have spotted her in the shortened video of Jay-Z's 6-hour performance of his song Picasso Baby at the New York Gallery. 20 Dev Patel. Yep, 2008's world favorite Chaiwala also features in the list. Both of Dev's parents were born in Nairobi but emigrated to London where they first met. But that doesn't make the star of Slumdog Millionaire, The Last Airbender, The Newsroom, and The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel any less Kenyan. 21 Iman. She may not be a Kenyan but the Somali-American ex-supermodel owes her breakthrough to Kenya. She was discovered in Nairobi by an American photographer in the 70s when a student at the University of Nairobi. She was falsely but successfully sold to the American press as an illiterate tribeswoman, discovered while tending to her family's herd on the Kenyan plains. 22 Don and Derek Pringle. The father-slash-son cricketing duo were both stone-cold ODI fast-medium bowlers. Don settled in Kenya in the 50s as a landscape consultant and later represented East Africa in the inaugural 1975 World Cup. His now journalist son Derek, was born in Nairobi but played for England for whom he also played Test cricket. 23 Shalja Patel. She might be a child of the world now and the mouthpiece for global migrants, but Kenya is where this acclaimed poet, playwright, theater artist, and political activist sharpened her talents. Shalja is a third-generation East African of Indian Gujarati heritage born to a mother from Mombasa and a father from Pemba. She was raised in Nairobi. 24 Simon Shaw MBE. A 6'8", 122 kilograms frame of Kenyan-born steel. The now-retired superstar English rugby player was born in Nairobi to an expat father and lived the better part of his first 9 years in breezy Lavington. In a 2012 interview with Rugby World, he said, "I used to speak Swahili, but remember little of the language now." 25 Worcestershire. A 26-year-old prolific Kenyan-born Somali poet and writer who immigrated with her parents to the UK at only the age of 1. She is the recipient of the 2013 Brunel University African Poetry Prize. Her poetry pamphlet, Teaching My Mother How to Give Birth, was published in 2011 and has been acclaimed by literary critics from Europe to North America. 26. Tom Morello. Hold on to your hat. A list of astonishing facts about this legendary rock guitarist and former Rage Against the Machine member ensues. His estranged father was a Mau Mau hero who served as Kenya's first UN ambassador. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta is his paternal great-uncle, which makes Uhuru Kenyatta his cousin. Tom was also a stripper way before he worked with greats like Springsteen and recorded soundtracks for blockbusters such as Pacific Rim and Iron Man.